over a distance because they had no radio. Now they're forming a battle line. Center of the field, we have what's called a flying battery. That is a horse-drawn cannon. Now the cavalry will not stand and fight against men on foot, but they will try to flank them. They will try to go around them on the side. And you can see, even in the cavalry, they form lines. Now clearly they're going to make a move around the side of the Federal troops. Now the role of the cavalry is to make the first engagement, because behind them will come the dismounted cavalry. And you can see to your right is a line of Confederate dismounted cavalry. They look like infantry. Those Federal troops back. About heroic charges and more about maneuvering. It's a game of chess.
Look at the flying artillery, flying cannon.
Since the Confederates initiated the action, they're better informed. But at some point, I'm very confident that you'll hear the Federal guns reply. And the point there is, it took time for the word to be passed back to the headquarters. Now on your left, the Federal infantry is beginning to come into view. And not only is there Federal infantry coming, but they're bringing a mortar with them. At some distance, they may fire by company at the same time. Later, we'll see them fire in a sequence that allows some to load while others fire.
That's why.
the Confederate cavalry out in the field can try to maneuver around the infantry, but they will not stand and fight the infantry. They are a big target. Now with the Federals pressing the point, the Confederates have to decide where to go. Stand and fight or maneuver. And you can see the Federal troops taking advantage and moving up and taking this flank. Now one classic military, and that's what the Confederates have done. Well, now the reserve unit is coming up to join them. And finally, to your left, the Federal artillery starts. Rather than leave the building for the Confederates to have, the Federals have determined they'd rather burn it down. And that's a shame. We can't seem to keep a building on this field. Now with greater numbers on the field, the Confederates can take the initiative.
Right there, see? It's there.
Stand and fight, but once they face superior numbers, the Federals move back. Right in front of us and moving to our left, the Confederates are massing troops, and they have a distinct advantage on this flank. And the Confederate cavalry far in the field is playing chess with the Federal flying battery. And even though, for example, the cavalry is standing still, they're holding a position. Well-trained troops will make a formation that tells the soldiers where the center of their line is. So when they get a command to make one formation or another, they know to do it in relation to the flag.
All right.
We may think of flag bearers as sometimes being kids or young people. Being a flag bearer was a very honored position. It was also very dangerous, because if you could shoot the other side's flag bearer, you confused them. They could not tell how to put their formations together. So the person with the flag was a target. Now again, they're moving forward as skirmishers, where they form two lines and they leapfrog each other. Now with the Confederate forces over to your left near the lake, the Federal troops have to respond to that. They do not appear to be, though. They have been out-positioned, so they have to give ground.
Twins were bases. So they could be graduated.
And
And they leapfrog each other, so the troops in the back are loading while the troops in front can fire.
What's Nicole's husband doing?
And the troops in front do not fire
I don't know where it is.
a chance to come back. And if it seems really silly to go back,
Where's the guy with the red
well, now clearly in the center of the field and far out in the field with the cavalry, the Confederates are pushing. The Confederates have enough troops in the center to hold, and they have an advantage on both flanks. The Federals, however, have the big guns.
Say so.
The amount of damage that those guns could do is, I will not describe. But they were not shooting solid balls. They shot very advanced weapons. So while in the real war, when they had larger numbers of people, they might have shot. Now you see the rider went from right to left to talk to the Confederates to your left. We'll go in around the clump of trees.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, as I
No,
see the situation, and because they've stayed in place, the Confederate troops continued to receive artillery fire.
Oh, there's a flag. There's no reason.
Well, clearly it appears as though the Confederate troops have borrowed the Federal flying artillery. I don't think they'll get a good rider. And I'm sure, and I know that's a new horse to that rider, and I'm sure before long that horse will be performing just like the others. In fact, one year PBS filmed here, and the point of the film was to show how the horses were trained to tolerate the gunfire.
Yeah, we never saw that.
It's never on it.
Now you may see the little white flag on the tip of his sword. I think generally people know a white flag means you mean no harm. That officer was likely trained at West Point.